Hey there, everyone. This is Maya Voce, your host and guide to the power of five on Om Times Radio, and now a podcast where podcasts are found. So, just finished a live show, so doing a video to go along with that, in case you missed it. So, to sum up, first, I would like to begin by acknowledging the original custodians of this land and of all lands, and thanking the elders, past, present, and future, and asking you, grandmothers, grandfathers, to open our hearts, open our minds and our ears to hearing your wisdom and to bringing that wisdom forward as we sit in this unique span of time, reweaving the fabrics of society and building this new age. We wish to hear you. So we thank you, we thank you, we thank you. And I thank you for calling me to this land, the sacred lands of Hawaii, and allowing me to be here as your guest and to bring this sacred work to this island. So I am most grateful. Thank you. And I'd like to begin by acknowledging everyone's journey, but this morning in particular, the journey of the single mom. Because I understand the juggle and the juggle and the juggle. I am a single mom, not by choice. Had a partner for nearly 14 years, and then, as I've shared very openly, one day he left, and he just never came back home. I found out later he had passed on. So it's been a huge journey, a journey of immense transformation. But there's days like today when I am sitting here in a home with a child who's frustrated, missing her father, blocked from so many things that she's loved, and looking for my attention. And I'm trying to get ready for a live show and get in the headspace. It's a journey, and it can be very draining. The constant struggle and constant everything on your shoulders. So I just want to put that energy out there and say, if you don't hear enough moms, you're doing a great job. We're all in very unique times with not a lot of resources. And so we just take day by day, and all I can say is breathe, breathe, breathe. So acknowledging that journey. We talked about today and have been talking about all month abundance in different aspects. Today, we talked about keying into your belief system. So, each of us comes into this world a perfect being of light, an energy being that does not die, and is here by choice for an experience. And the things that we put on us after are like clothing, right? Conditioning, thoughts of our parents, thoughts of our grandparents. You need to do this, you need to do that. This is what a good life is. This isn't. Those are all things, right? So in some circles, we say they're the layers of the onion. Very popular in my circle. But I also just like to say that it's like items of clothing. And as you put them on, they become heavier and heavier. And there comes a point where you can stop. And that's where the point we are today, at this point, to stop and say, I need to get rid of some of these clothes. It's really hot out. Okay, those you can see by the weather, not today in Volcano, coming to you from on the porch today, not my sacred space, because it's misting and wet and a little bit cold. So first, we're at this place where everything is shifting. We see society being really ripped open, and if you've been following my work, I've been talking about how this is the unraveling. It's the unfolding of society. It's about the universe ripping everything open and shining a spotlight saying that doesn't work anymore. We don't need that in this new world. Okay. So you people, you need to do something about it. It's not about talk. It's really about bringing it to the surface and saying we've had enough and we need to shift this. It's not just one thing, there's many aspects that need to shift. So what we need to do individually is to look within ourselves, and we need to feel what doesn't feel right anymore. What coat is too heavy? What shirt is too tight? Whatever it is, we need to really dive within. And the thing about belief system, and remember, belief is just a thought that we feed every day. It's not, it's not the 10 Commandments. It's not something written in stone. It's not something the angels hand you, when you're born and say, this is what you're going to be and do for the rest of your life. No, there's no such thing. Again, there are items of clothing that we put on. And we have the power to look in a mirror and say, yeah, that's just out of date. I don't want that anymore. I'm going to get something new. Think of that analogy. I think it's a great analogy. Just really, really looking within. And the energies of June, if this is when you're reaching me, it's all about introspection. And we're just about to go into a Mercury Retro. And the energy I'm feeling about this retro is a big retro. And I've put out there, it's like a slingshot being pulled back. We're all being pulled back, like really this tension right now to this point. And then once we're mid-July, when Mercury goes direct again, boom, boom, we're going to be flung into that new beginning way until August with Lionsgate portal, which I'll talk about closer to that time. But right now we're really in this it's like this tension, being pulled back. It's a time of introspection. All of June is, but Mercury is just hitting us with, okay, you've had introspection, now you're really going to have some introspection. Miscommunications. If you're familiar with Mercury retro energy, it just feels like you're trudging through mud. Nothing is moving forward. Communications are all screwy. Don't try to accomplish anything in these 3 weeks. No contracts, no new deals. Nothing like that. Really go hide. Go hide in your bed with your journal and just pray for it to end. That's generally where I'm at with Mercury Retro. But this one especially, coming after all of what has happened, is really a biggie, and on the new moon as well. New moon this weekend, which I have not connected with that energy yet. But I'm feeling this sense of duality between what we want to do and what we need to do or should do. So I'm going to leave it at that. I haven't tapped in more at this point. But when we talk about belief system, they're really ingrained in there. They really weasel their way deep within, and we don't really recognize them, because we lead our life on a path in a way that we believe is right, on the foundation of what we've been taught. But society teaches us, our parents, everyone under the sun is telling us something. So they're not so easy to come across. Once we find them, though, then we can shift them, but it's the finding. So what I said on air today was, get out a clean piece of paper and you're going to brainstorm. You're going to brainstorm all the things that family members have told you in your life, especially your parents and grandparents. Life is hard, for example. Life is a struggle. And about money. Money doesn't grow on trees. Money is only out there for some. Only rich, some get rich. Things like that. You're just going to brainstorm what is within you. This is your personal journey. This is not what you've heard out there. This is what you have been told and you're operating your life on day by day. So you're going to write them down. And there's something magical when you write things. They're there before you. And so they kind of smack you in the face and you go, yeah, I guess I have been living under the construct that life is hard. And I look around me and yeah, I do feel like life is hard. Because that's the energy you've been sending out, either consciously or subconsciously. You're sending it out and the universe is responding by sending you more hard. So we first need to find out what are you operating under? What are the biggies that you're leading your life? And once we do, then we can start to shift them. And so I spoke today about once you have those, say 10 things about life, about money, you're going to write next to it, you're going to shift it. So if, using that example, life is hard to you, we're going to shift that. How about life is ease? Life is full of ease and grace. Beautiful things come to me. Life is amazing. Only good things come to me. Only amazing things come to me. Shift it with words that resonate with you. It's really important to pick words that resonate with you. Life is full of wonder, if that's something that strikes at you, and you feel it within your body. And that's how you tell energy is shifting, is you go within. It's not me telling you. It's you going within and you feeling that constriction of life is hard, constriction, to life is wonderful. You want to get to that right? When you feel that you know the energy has shifted. And that's what you need to telling yourself. Keep on telling yourself. Write it, tattoo it on your body. I've seen it. Young girls, they have, these new mantras. That they've tattooed on their bodies. All right, you don't need to go there, but just write it somewhere. Write it in lipstick on the mirror. Write it somewhere that you're going to see every day and remind yourself that no, life is not hard anymore. I gave that up. Life is now wonderful. Things come to me easily. Money comes to me as easily as air flows through my lungs. something that's going to stick with you. And we're going to begin to shift. Not begin, it shifts pretty quickly once you hit it. It's just the keeping up with it. Because remember, those beliefs, those thoughts that you've been feeding all of your life, they're pretty hungry and they're pretty big already. So we want to stop feeding them. And sometimes we have to remind ourselves to stop feeding them and feed this new thing over here that's sitting in the space of expansion. And that's what we need to do today as we journey into this building of this new age. You've heard me maybe say it on the Be Kind Revolution, the nonprofit I started after my husband crossed back into the light. As we build this new society, we want to choose the threads that go in it. We want to choose kindness and compassion, care, nurture, and respect. We want to journey back to the sacred. We want our wisdom, our own wisdom, to be there. We want to trust ourselves again. All those threads that are going to build this new basis of this new world. But we can't do it if each of us individually is lugging all this old crap there. So first, before we journey this next month, we need to really look within and do some work. And if you've done the work, just be conscious that you are feeding the new energy. Okay? Trust me, there's always something else to shed. It's never a day that you go, oh, I'm completely shed, because then you'll be back in the light. That's just it. This is life, this journey called life. So there's always something to shed, no matter how far you are in your journey. And I say that having come pretty far. So you want to shed as much as you can in this new moon cycle, and especially with new moon coming this weekend. We want to instill that new life into this new beginning. So, abundance is out there for everyone. There's no such thing as shortage in the universe. It's us that feels the shortage. We tell ourselves there's shortage because we are experiencing it because we want to experience it in some manner. And yes, this is the part of taking responsibility for your energy field, is that we're not pointing fingers or blaming people anymore and saying, no, life is unfair. Because if you're coming from that belief system, that's what you need to shift, my friend. Okay? That life happens to you, or, that victim mentality. It's time to shift that. We have to take responsibility, each of us, for our own energy, our thoughts, our words, our actions, our deeds. It is our energy, and we alone are responsible for it. So time to stand up. Time to, as my dear friend Michelle says, put on our big girl shoes. Well, it's not shoes, but anyway, I'm going to use shoes. And really take responsibility for all those things, our energy, our thoughts, as we go into this new world. We're all clamoring for change, right? It's an election year, so much going on this year. Can there be more? I shouldn't say, because the universe listens. Don't listen to that. We need to take responsibility. We're going to build this new world. It starts with us. It's not going out there. It starts with what's within your heart space, within your energy field. So we spoke about that, and exercises today are brainstorm a bit. See what you're operating under and see what needs to shift, and start telling yourself some better mantras. When you wake up in the morning, good thing, and the rain comes in my face, good things are coming to me today. I say amazing things are coming to me today. It's going to be an amazing day. Every day I start the day that way until I feel it and I get excited. And when you're excited about something, your energy has shifted, and you're sending that energy out into the universe of, I'm excited to be here. Give me more excited. Open the doors to abundance. That's where it happens. When you step into your personal power, when you banish fear from your energy field, when you're able to get rid of the unworthy, the sense of lack, all of those things, which I'm not saying it's these are things we've been carrying with us for, lifetimes already. But that's how that's how we know we've shifted, when we tap into excitement. That expansion, contraction, right? Those two ends of the energy spectrum. So we want to be in expansion always. Catch yourself if you're saying, I can't. Catch yourself if you're saying, oh no, I shouldn't really, Catch yourself if you're apologizing every 2 seconds. I'm sorry, can I stand in line? Why are you apologizing? Catch yourself, because you might think it's just an expression. I've heard people say this. It's not an expression. It's a statement of unworthiness. It's a statement of asking permission to be there. And no one needs to give you permission to be here. You have permission. You have permission from Source and from yourself. You chose to be here. So don't ask forgiveness for every time you want to do something in life, okay? So let's shift that energy. Shift yourself when you say it's hard, because you're going to get hard back. Anyway. Okay, so start paying attention what's in your mind this week. Now, next week on Power of Five, we're going to expand on that concept. It's really important. You at least think about it a little bit this week, because we're going to start rewriting the story. So we're going to get bigger. We're going to go beyond the phrase, like life is hard, for example, and really build into the whole story. And that's when magic happens. Because really, I just got massive goosebumps right now. Because things happen in the world. Events happen all the time, right? It's us that puts the clothes on that event, and we call it good, bad, ugly, indifferent, whatever. The event itself, and I include even the death of my husband, that itself was just an event. An unfortunate series of things that happened that night, of which still I have no true understanding. But things happened that night that led to his passing. But that in and of itself was just an event. Afterwards, and the events in your own life, it's us who classify them, we clothe them, we put our perspective on them, and it's that creates the energy from which we carry forward in this life. So it's time that we take responsibility and start paying attention to what we're saying, okay? If you're saying you're having a crappy life, experience a crappy life in this life, and good power to you. You got to have some crappy moments to enjoy the love and the light, right? So it's all part of the experience, and it all balances out, but it is us that colors everything, including everything this year. Okay? So we're going to start changing the story, all of us, individually and collectively. And I'm really passionate about this, if you can't tell already. So please take some time this week and start looking at what your belief system is. And if you've done this exercise a million times, do it again. Just write some stuff down on paper. And you have that for the full moon. You can burn them, and get rid of them. I'm an Aries. We love to burn. I was burning the other day. My daughter goes, "Ooh, burning time." I'm like, "No, mommy's doing ritual. Give me some space." Sometimes we burn together. Sometimes mommy just needs to burn. Yes, I got sidetracked with the burning. Okay, so that's where we're at. That is a quick summary of the whole Power of Five, which, if you missed the live show, now a podcast on iHeartRadio, Apple, and a variety of other places. So whatever your favorite place is, I'm sure you can find it. And what I mentioned also, and we'll end with this, is that it is very useful at times to have someone to journey with you and to help you to budge things, because these things are really ingrained and they don't want to budge. And they're really difficult to see because they've been so in our face for so long that they're hard to see, right? So it takes an experienced healer to help you out. So I'm back to offering my healing sessions. I'm so excited. I've so missed it in this transition of moving, of working with individuals and diving into your energy field. My karmic soul healing sessions, I call them. We'll meet face to face on Skype or whatever you prefer first, and just have a conversation, set some intentions for our session, so you can vocalize, get that energy out of what it is you're not shifting. And if you have no idea, vocalize that as well. Then I usually retreat and really dive into your energy field. I like to type up things. I'm a writer, to offer you, so you have something in print as the point that I'm channeling it. And then we come together again and we do a meditation and journey. And I can't tell you beyond that, because each journey is very different and very unique. I've journeyed into past lives when we correct something that needed to shift there, into other dimensions. People that have passed in your life, your guards, your guardians, your soul self sits up. There's so many things that have occurred. So I can't say particularly for you, but what I can assure you is that things will shift, because that is my work. Things will shift. So be ready for that. and to be really relaxed, because there'll be a lot of shedding and a lot of letting go. So I offer that to you. If you're interested, please PM me. Always ways to connect these days through my Facebook, Mea 5 Voce, MEA 5 VOCE, through Instagram, through here, through anywhere. But I would love to meet with you. It is getting busy again, so take advantage of this time of introspection, and please let me know, because I'd love to help you out. I want everyone to be joyful and to shift this crap. Finally, get rid of it. We do not need to build this new age feeling unworthy, because we're not. We are perfect, beautiful beings of light energy that are all powerful. So it's time to embrace that. Okay? Many blessings to you, and I will catch you in this longer video next week. Well, I'll do the same thing. My time is up because I see my daughter is just sitting there going, "Is the video done?" Okay, mommy, because we need to fix some stuff. So thank you for sharing this sacred space, and I thank you to the ancestors of this land for calling me here. I am so forever grateful for allowing me to do this sacred work. Thank you, Goddess, for calling me here. Aloha and many blessings.